Every pro producer knows speed is everything. The faster you execute ideas, the more music you can finish. That's why we all obsess over our DAW shortcuts. They keep us in the flow. But after 10 years of producing full time, I realized the real slowdowns don't happen just in your DAW, they happen around it. Opening files, navigating folders, switching apps. So in this video, I'm revealing 20 keyboard shortcuts every producer needs to know. And to help you take what you learned in this video even further, I put together the session speed sheet. It's a curated list of essential keyboard shortcuts for every major DAW. If you want to move faster and think less while producing, this is for you. So I'm curious, do you ever get so locked into a session that your hands are moving, but your brain's checked out? You're deep in the flow until you catch yourself opening the same buried menu for the 5th time for 10 minutes. This has happened to me so many times, and I remember thinking once,
why doesn't this just have a shortcut?
Right before I opened the same drop-down menu for like the 37th time. Well, turns out you can. On your Mac, you can actually create custom shortcuts for virtually almost any menu item. All you have to do is go to your system settings, hit the keyboard, go to keyboard shortcuts, add an app, type the exact menu name, and assign your keyboard shortcut. Now, as helpful as that is, even when you're moving fast in a session, sometimes you forget what sounded good in the first place. And there's no worse feeling than muttering to yourself,
I swear it sounded better earlier.
Especially if an artist is sitting right next to you. That's when I realized screenshots aren't just for saving memes. They're for saving your own brilliance. Want to capture the whole screen? Command-Shift-3. Just a section of a plugin window? Command-Shift-4. Want to record a quick screen capture video of a move that you're making to show a friend? Command-Shift-5. Now with these shortcuts, you never have to lose any of this information again, but here's the thing about screenshots, screen grabs, and recording videos. They're only helpful if they're still in the place where you put them the last time you used them. But what happens if you forgot where you moved the file? Well, you're not gonna have to worry about this because you're about to become a Jedi Master of the Finder window. If you need to search something really quickly, use Command-F. Want to highlight every file in that folder? Command-A. Do you need to create a new folder to dump your ideas or screenshots or memes? Just hit Command-Shift-N. Ready to delete some junk without having to right-click or drag a file to the trash? Command-Delete. And while you're in the Finder window, if you use Command +1 through 4, it allows you to switch views. And the cool part is once you get to the list view mode, if you hit Command-J, it'll show you folder sizes. And another thing when navigating the menus and the folders, and one thing that's always tripped me up, is I click into some deep folder and forget how I even got there. Luckily, Command-Option-P gives you the full file path underneath. And not only that, but if you hit Command \, it will show you how much available storage you have on the drive. This way you know when it's time to clean house, and when that time comes, just hit Command-Shift-Backspace and it empties the trash without you having to go to the menu and do any sort of pop-up or right-clicking. All right, so now if you're still following with me, here are a few more power moves to navigating the preferences like a boss. Command comma is the best shortcut across all apps because 9 times out of 10, it will open up the preferences in most every app that you use. And if it doesn't, just create a custom shortcut like I showed you at the beginning of the video. Now, if you're one of the really strange people that loves having their dock up and lets it cramp their style, Command-Option-D hides it on command. All right, so you've optimized your space and you just clear the junk. But when a session starts crashing or freezing, none of that matters unless you know how to pull the eject handle. Safely, of course. Don't do anything crazy. So let's talk emergency moves, the ones that save the song when your system's hanging by a thread. Command-Option-Escape opens force quit so you can shut down any frozen app fast. Command-Option-Q force quits the current app without a dialog box. Now this next one is really helpful because there's nothing worse than going to the bathroom mid-session and one of the band members decides to touch your computer, change something, and then you can't figure out what it was because you're in the flow making things happen. So before you go to the bathroom, hit Command-Control-Q, it'll lock your screen instantly. Now, one of the worst things that can happen when you're in a session is you're looking something up to either help you in making a mix better or just looking up something that someone in the band member wants to do. You're in your internet browser and somehow you accidentally close the wrong tab and it's just gone. No clue where it is and you just don't want to go digging for whatever that was and go through your Chrome history also. And I mean, do you really want them to see 12 open tabs from a search of like how to sidechain in Logic again? Nah, I didn't think so. So instead of doing all of that, if you simply hit Command-Shift-T, it instantly reopens the last closed tab. If you hit Command-L, it'll jump straight to the URL bar too, so you can quickly search whatever you're doing. And to avoid having to hit Command-Shift-T to find that web page, instead hit Command-D right when you get to one of those web pages and it lets you bookmark the page you're on. And this is just scratching the surface of keyboard shortcuts every producer should know, which is why you're gonna wanna take everything you learned from this video and combine it with the session speed sheet. Because every shortcut you master buys you something most producers are desperate for: time. So what if your whole setup was built to protect that time? That's why you need to watch this next video, where I reveal 12 life-changing apps that will completely transform your workflow and keep you in a creative state that you didn't even know was possible.